Hello everyone, it's D to the B here, and I have a interesting review, and that is talking about the new Jurassic World movie. Last time I talked about Jurassic World was back in 2018 when me and some friends were reviewing the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom movie, and I haven't made a video. Well, no, there was that video giving my thoughts about the trailer for Dominion. There was supposed to be a review for Dominion, but I never got around to that. Who knows? Maybe one of the things I do is talk about the other Jurassic World movies and also re-review Fallen Kingdom, see what I feel about it. But I figure I'd give my thoughts on the new Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. So when I heard that they were making another Jurassic World movie, I was personally not excited. I remember hearing from someone I knew at work mentioning that there was a new Jurassic World movie. I'm like, wait, I thought Dominion was supposed to be the end of the franchise. And he's like, they're making another one. So I'm like, sure, whatever. Probably not going to watch it. And that was my intention for the longest time, was I was avoiding the movie. Until I was brought along to go see it with my mom because she wanted to go see the movie and also spend some time with me. So I went and watched the movie. And, oh boy, it's not a very good movie. It's definitely bad as I figured it would be. I didn't think it would be this bad though. Like, people complain that the Jurassic World trilogy is terrible, and I'd actually argue the opposite to an extent. For me, I think Jurassic World worked, or the Jurassic World trilogy worked, because if you compare the two trilogies in the Jurassic saga, as I'm gonna call it, because it changes names through the next three movies. We got the first trilogy. The first trilogy is about bringing dinosaurs back and everything not going very well. And then the second trilogy, it's similar, but also it took the creative liberty to make new dinosaurs, which does seem realistic when you think about all the crazy things that science has done over the past year. They have created a bunch of things, either good or mostly bad. So it's believable that science would eventually, if they had the ability to bring dinosaurs back, it wouldn't be off the realm of tables to mess with dinosaur DNA and make brand new dinosaurs. It wouldn't surprise me. I know not everything in Jurassic World was great. Like, looking back, Indoraptors are kind of stupid. Actually, no, they are stupid. You fire a laser and they attack. Yeah, no, it's a goofy concept for sure. I'll admit that. And I'll admit, even though I thought it was slightly better, the third Jurassic World movie did not have the greatest plot. It mostly wasted its time on modified locusts, which, sure, you could have a movie about that, but why shove it into the third Jurassic World movie? It doesn't really fit, and it takes a big plot aspect of the movie. It, like, the second movie was building up to dinosaurs ruling the world, and I thought that was an interesting concept, and we kind of got that, but then at the same time, it's like modified locusts. Like, I'm not serious. I will, as I said, I will probably go back and review the previous 6 dinosaur movies and see if my opinions have stayed the same about them. But continuing on with the review, this movie did not hold up very well. I figured it wouldn't, but I figured, why not? Just spend some time with family. It could work out. And yeah, I regret it. Besides spending time with family, I regretted going to the movie theaters for this movie. Especially when I was watching the movie, we had this dad and his kids with him, and his younger son was obnoxious. I literally left the seat that I was in and went to one of the bottom rows of the theater seats so I could get some peace and quiet and not get annoyed with that family because the dad wasn't even doing anything to stop them. So yeah, why don't we begin with Jurassic World Rebirth. This review probably won't be long because barely anything happens in this movie. It's boring, it's generic, it doesn't do anything something new or creative. Let's go. So the movie takes place 15 years after Jurassic World Dominion. And you would think, what are the interesting concepts that they could do in an interesting time skip? Which I'm glad that the movie took a big time skip for this new trilogy instead of just having it take like 1 or 2 years after the original. Especially since the last movie, they decided to coexist with the dinosaurs. How could this impact the world as we know it? Nothing happened. It's just a normal day in the cities and stuff, but you occasionally see a dinosaur. That's it. That's all we get from this movie. And also, we get to meet Scarlett Johansson's character. No, I don't remember who the character is. I don't remember her name. She was that forgettable of a character in this movie. All the characters are pretty forgettable. So she meets up with a friend of hers and this guy that has a super secret project, and he wants to go to this island that has a bunch of dinosaurs, get like blood, get blood from the dinosaurs so they can make this cool medicine to help with certain illnesses. She agrees, and then she sets up a whole team of people to go with her, and then also at the same time we get to see this family who's having a family trip, and the oldest daughter's boyfriend. And oh my gosh, this guy is so obnoxious. The boyfriend was probably my least favorite character in this movie. He's so obnoxious, and the only thing that was funny with this family, which is unfortunately a really big part of this movie, is those one scene where the dad's like, why do you even like this guy? And the older daughter's like, for reasons. And then the younger one's like, for his body. That actually cracked me up. That was like one of the only funny parts of the movie. I would say the only funny part in the movie. That was the only time the movie made me laugh. And as the family and the boyfriend are trying to bond, the ship tips over. Do you know why it tips over? It tips over because of the Spinosaurus that's under the water. And of course, all the family members jump off the boat because they need to survive, which I get it. Your boat's tipping over. You want to live. But at the same time, the dinosaur is after you in the water. You couldn't find a way to like get on top of the ship in some way. And then at the same time, Scarlett Johansson's team arrives where she loses a few members of her team. And I didn't even really notice that anyone died at first until I saw somebody die. I'm like, oh no, a character that I didn't even realize was in the team died. Oh no. And there's no reason to care that somebody died in this movie because we don't get enough time to develop the characters. So after losing some members, the annoying family and Scarlett Johansson's team combine together, and we have another dinosaur attack the team. And of course, they're trying to deal with this, and also the family's told to call somebody to go help them. So older daughter goes to call somebody, but of course the guy who made the operation to begin with tries to stop her, and she almost falls to her death. She falls to the edge, and we even see the guy after she falls off and then is holding onto the edge of the boat. He just stands there and watches instead of, getting rid of her. So, yeah, obviously this guy is the bad guy. They didn't even try to hide the fact that he's the bad guy in this movie. Then, of course, after they deal with the underwater dinosaur, they land on the island that they were supposed to go to. And, of course, when everyone gathers together, because they're all separated for a bit, when the obvious bad guy in the movie comes, the older daughter justifiably, even though I don't like her character whatsoever, justifiably gets mad with the bad guy because he tried killing her, and everybody just is like confused and then eventually just accepts it. and nobody speculates he's the bad guy. Like, after hearing something like, you tried to shove me off, wouldn't you find that sort of suspicious? I'm not saying everyone has to believe her, because that would be annoying. I at least want someone or two people in the team to believe her, instead of just nobody believing her. It is so ridiculous how no one believes her. This is all on stupid bad guy, because he didn't finish her because he's an idiot. A true menacing threat would have gotten rid of the problem if they had the chance, and he didn't. So, of course, then the groups go on. They go into two separate groups. We have the people who are going after the dinosaurs and try to get their blood so they can make the medicine to help a bunch of people. And then we got the family doing their own thing. I honestly can't even remember what the family's doing. I think they're trying to find a way off the island, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, the exploration team is getting the dino blood that they need. And then at some point in the movie, younger girl with the annoying family adopts like this small dinosaur. Oh, cute, marketable dinosaur baby thing. Yay! And then eventually the family finds a raft that was a part of their boat, and they use it to try to get their attention. And also they have a flare gun at the same time, and they're trying to get the attention of a helicopter that's passing by. But of course, they get the attention of a T-Rex. And of course, the family tries to evacuate the thing. Somehow the T-Rex doesn't go after them, even though it has been established in the franchise that a T-Rex only attacks if they move, and the T-Rex doesn't do squat until the youngest daughter is all by herself and the T-Rex starts trying to eat the raft. And of course, the T-Rex is not successful in eating the raft because plot convenient raft, I guess, because this is complete nonsense. This raft would instantly break if the dinosaur teeth went through it. And now you could say maybe this is an advanced type raft that can be stronger than normal rafts and can hold and sustain sharp objects. Well, yeah, but I don't think they would make a material strong enough to handle dinosaur teeth. It would pop instantly, even if it's the strongest material that you could get, which rubber isn't even that strong of a material to begin with. Like, if you pop a balloon, it's going to pop. If there's a hole in a floaty, it's going to start deflating and you're going to fall into the pool. So, yeah, this is not believable that this raft can withstand dinosaur teeth. It is complete nonsense. Eventually, the T-Rex decides to give up because, I don't know, he's sick of this movie too. And eventually, the youngest daughter meets up with her family, and then we transition with the explorer guys, which are finding more stuff. We get a bunch of nonsense. Like, they find a cave with a dinosaur egg at some point. They get, like, the fluid out of the egg. But then something happens where Glasses Guy, as I'm gonna call him, almost falls off the edge, and Scarlett Johansson's character manages to save him. Yeah, this is complete nonsense. I don't care if she's, like, muscular. That is, like, way too much. Like, even though Scarlett Johansson's character seems to be somewhat buff to an extent, like, generally men are stronger than women. That is a biological fact. I know people are gonna get triggered by me saying that, but it's a scientific fact. If you look it up, it says it itself that man is more physically stronger, where women, they have intelligence. That's what makes them different from each other and makes them special from the other one. But nope, we gotta make them strong female characters. I'm not saying entirely Scarlett Johansson's character's a girl boss. She's just boring at best. She doesn't do some Mary Sue type garbage that I know of. She's just boring. And then we transition back family for the movie. Now I'm doing this all by memory. I think I've been doing well so far, but I could be wrong. We transition tonight with the annoying family, as I call them. And they're setting up refuge, and also annoying boyfriend and the father have a discussion, and he has pretty much accepted him as a possible son-in-law at this point in the story. Now, there isn't enough build-up to the story where it feels natural and believable, and we're hyping for this annoying boyfriend guy, but oh well, we gotta have romantic subplot, even if the romance is terrible. People complain that the romance in Attack of the Clones is terrible. This is worse. So after the heart-to-heart with annoying boyfriend and dad, annoying boyfriend has to go take a piss. And I remember talking about this part in the Collat video I did with my friend L to the C. And here's the clip itself. It's pretty funny.
Or whatever. I'm like, yeah, pterodactyl. I'm like,
okay, so
like,
here's this.
I'm like, go for it. Just
let me give everyone context for this scene. So later on in the film, the boyfriend has to go take a piss. And I'm not even kidding. He's taking a piss in a jungle full of dinosaurs. At that point, I'm like, I'd rather just pee my pants. At that point, so he goes in the forest in the middle of the night. And he's just taking a real big whiz. And at the same time, these raptors are just coming behind him.
They're like stalking him.
Yeah, they're stalking him, about to pounce him and eat him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is probably one of the most scariest moments in the movie so far. So the raptors are just slowly stalking him and coming, but then out of nowhere, just this pterodactyl comes and just takes all the raptors away. And it's just like this suspenseful moment, like, oh my gosh, I almost got eaten by a dinosaur. And then the moment is ruined for me when he just starts taking a piss. And I remember in my theater, people were laughing at that. I'm like, that's not funny. Like, you just ruined the most serious moment in this movie for, oh, he goes pee-pee. Like, come on, guys. It's not that funny.
But then I think also in the scene, you see a pterodactyl. Yeah, pterodactyl comes.
So yeah, no joke. Legit. The whole thing is he goes pee, and then raptors just come by him, and they're about to pounce him, but then a pterodactyl comes, and then they just get taken away by the pterodactyl, and it's like the most serious moment in this entire movie. And then as soon as the pterodactyl stops looking at him, the pterodactyl leaves, and then he starts taking a piss again, and it's like the most unfunny thing in the movie. And I even remember some people laughing in my theater. And in my head, I'm like, it's not even that funny. It wasn't even that funny of a joke to begin with. Then we go to more exploring, more people die, and let's get to the final act. I do not care. This review might be not as completely accurate. I remember the plot for the most part. It's just some parts are a little mixed up. I might have mixed some parts in, but they are in the movie. So if I make any mistakes, I apologize, but let's get to the final act. So all the characters are together and they arrive at their destination where they're going to be picked up by a helicopter, but secretly obvious bad guy comes and he demands the briefcase which has the blood samples for the dinosaurs, and he takes them and is planning to leave, but then at some point he gets eaten by the D-Rex. No, I'm not even kidding. That's what this thing is actually called. And look at this model. I can't show the model because I don't want to take copyright risks from Universal, because Universal is very protective of their copyright system. But look at this image. What is this thing? This thing ain't a dinosaur. It looks like a Rancor and a Blurg combined together. Like, what is this? And then we have dramatic, epic final battle where they're trying to escape from the dinosaur and also try to get the attention of the helicopter. And at some point, a flare shot up into the air and it gets the helicopter's attention, but then the helicopter gets eaten by the D-Rex, and then they have to escape somehow, so they evacuate the island, try to leave, and there's only like a few people left of Scarlett Johansson's team, and then also the annoying family. The only people that I remember surviving at the end of Jurassic World Rebirth were Scarlett Johansson, guys who was supposed to be Blade in the MCU, and some random guy I can't remember. And then it ends with them getting picked up at the end of the movie, and then bam, it's over. Oh my gosh, this movie was a train wreck of a film. There was no proper build-up, it was a waste of a sequel. Why did this need to be made? Even though Dominion wasn't perfect, I thought it was a decent little ending to the franchise. Now, a new trilogy of Jurassic World could have worked, but it didn't. The idea I even pitched in the collab video I did with my friend L to the C, I even pitched the idea that the human race was starting to thin out because of Owen, Claire, and Pilot Girl mistake in Dominion, and of course, the humans needed to get rid of the dinosaurs to make sure their species survives. That would have been a way interesting plot, and with a trilogy that could have ended things off with the Jurassic World series. But nope, the sequel sucks, and I'm actually glad there are a lot of people that do not like this movie. Most people thought this movie was a waste of time, and I don't know if it's going to convince people to boycott the next one. I definitely think it's going to get a sequel, because this was probably the most popular. It was the most popular film in July. Like, it both beat Superman and Fantastic Four at the same time. That's how good this movie was, or at least performing it was. It performed really well. And we're probably gonna get another one. I'm not even gonna bother. This movie was terrible. And I'm glad that most people didn't like it. And yeah, no. Jurassic World 8, nope, I'm not seeing you. And also, one more nitpick and then I'll go. Like, why wasn't this new era of Jurassic Park, or the Jurassic series, named something else? Because we got Jurassic Park, the first trilogy, then we got Jurassic World, the second trilogy, and then we got Jurassic World Rebirth. And that's it. You couldn't call it the Jurassic Rebirth trilogy or the Jurassic Age trilogy. You couldn't have come up with a new name. I remember one comment that I read. I'll try to find it, but it was like the first two trilogies and then Jurassic Space or something like that. And it was actually pretty funny. But yeah, oh my gosh, I did not like this movie. I wish I didn't see it. It was such a waste of time. Anyway, how did you feel about the film? Tell me in the comments. And also tell me if I forgot some details in the movie. And if you want a really goofy video of just ripping this movie apart, I recommend watching the video that I collabed with my friend L to the C on. There are a lot of more funny moments in it, and I personally had fun doing that review with him. So if anything, go check that out right here. And also, to wrap things up as always criticize and rise up.